Hey guys, so today we're going to look at some different exercises to help strengthen the back muscles as well as the rotator cuff shoulder muscles. So let's take a look at the anatomy here. This first highlighted muscle is the trapezius. A lot of the exercises I'm going to show you today is going to involve the trapezius, which is made up of the upper, middle, and lower fibers. That big one underneath there is the latissimus dorsi muscle, a really big back muscle used in a lot of movements. And then here I have the shoulder highlighted. So the three parts of your deltoid include the anterior, middle, and posterior fibers, which work differently with different exercises. So if we take the trapezius away, underneath there we have some of the other rotator cuff muscles. The top one there is your supraspinatus, which works to help bring your arm away from your body. The infraspinatus, teres minor, which help to externally rotate your arm, and teres major. And then those two there in the middle are your rhomboids, which help bring your scapula towards your midline or the vertebrae. So the purpose of I's, Y's, and T's exercises are to help strengthen the posterior chain, to address any trapezius and scapula muscle weaknesses, to improve posture, and to decrease neck, shoulder, and back pain. So this first exercise we're going to look at is seated I's, Y's, and T's. So you want to start this movement by pulling those shoulders down and back and keeping those hands against the wall throughout the movement. So first I'm bringing my hands up towards the ceiling and then squeezing my shoulder blades down and back. The second one is a Y, and then the third variation I'll show you is a T. With each repetition, no matter which angle you're doing, I'm really focusing on squeezing my shoulder blades together as I'm bringing those elbows towards my midline. Next is a different variation of the previous exercise, except this time we're taking the rhomboids out of the movement a little bit. So those were the muscles that help bring the scapula towards the midline, versus here we're going to be targeting more of the deltoid or the shoulder muscles. So again, I'm performing the same movement, those I's, Y's as shown here, and then T's going out to the side. I'm really focusing on squeezing my shoulder muscles as I bring my arms up and out. So this next exercise is prone I's, Y's, T's, and W's. So you're first going to begin by pulling those shoulder blades down and back, engaging your glutes if you can, and then we're going to start by having our thumbs up and lifting our arms off of the ground in a I motion. So here you should feel the upper traps as well as your shoulders working. Next, we're going to be doing a Y. Again, thumbs are pointed up, and I'm keeping my arms out on an angle, really activating those posterior muscles. And you really want to try and squeeze those muscles and hold them at the top there before bringing your arms back down. Next is the T. So my palms are facing down here. You could also have your thumbs pointing up as we did in the previous exercises. All three of these different angles or variations of the exercise are just targeting different parts of that trapezius muscle. Again, really work on squeezing those muscles at the top there for a second before you bring your arms back down. This last one is a W. Again, you can always reset those scapulas first. So my arms are bent here, thumbs are pointing up, and you'll notice that I'm pulling up and a little bit back with this exercise. So kind of trying to pull those elbows down towards my hips a little bit. All right, next we're going to work on some scapular retraction exercises. So I'm starting with my hands above my head here, palms facing together. I'm then going to be bending at my elbows, bringing those elbows down towards my hips and really squeezing those scapulas together. So the goal for this one is really feeling those rhomboids, those muscles closest to your spine. And you can also change the angles up here. So here I'm doing kind of that Y motion, just getting different fibers working in those muscles. So change up the angles with this one and just really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together before bringing those arms out again. Alright, next up we're going to be doing an advanced version of the scapula exercise previously shown. So for this one I'm lifting my chest up just a little bit, really squeezing those glutes so we're not using our low back muscles too much. And again, performing the same movement, so bending those elbows, really focusing on squeezing those rhomboids together at the back there before bringing those arms out in front. Alright, the last exercise here is a Superman. So you can first start with just your arms lifting off of the ground, really focusing on squeezing those mid-back muscles together as you come up. You also want to try and squeeze those glutes as well so you're not using too much of those lumbar muscles. You can then progress it by lifting up your legs, really squeezing those glutes at the same time as you bring those arms up. Again, hold it at the top there for a second before coming back down.